For
what
what
you
it's
guys
worth,
think.
Bridge, I think mom is the most concerned about you. Like she's like expressed
I
not
think
like
Zarna, this conversation. Sorry,
I
to
don't
cut
even
you.
think it has to do with concern. I think I'm the only one with the guts to challenge her. And when it comes to you and Veer, you guys will just like bend the knee, and every time she says anything, bow down and support an agreement with her. And I'm the only one who's willing to say, wait, maybe let's think about this for a second. Think about the logistics of what's going on.
Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast. So excited to have all 5 Gargs in the house, and we are recording a very sizzling hot and extremely highly debated topic that we're going to get into right now, because no one knows what we're going to talk about until we log in, and we're going to get right into it. All 5 Gargs are in the house. My husband of 25 years, Shalab Garg, Wall Street veteran. My daughter, who's about to graduate college, Zoya Garg. My middle son, who just started college, Bridge Garg. And my middle schooler, Veer Garg. All 5 Gargs are in the house. And we are going to record a podcast episode on the topic of mothering in the new world. Mothering in a world where nuclear families are out. I mean, nuclear families are in, joint families are out. What are your obligations towards your mother? What does your mother owe you? What is the right thing to expect? Because honestly, I'm in a space in my life right now where I'm declaring war on American style mothering. I am not for the idea of being a parent in a way that you just give to the kids and expect nothing back. I feel free to expect a lot from my kids, and I want to hear the other side of it. I want to hear what you guys think about a mother who expects something back from you. So, anybody have an opinion? I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right? First of all, I am very open in saying that I will be getting old in America and expect you guys to take care of me. Do you
Oh my God,
understand that?
I did not know that.
how
What do you
did you
not
not
know?
know that? She says it like every day.
Yeah.
I think that we owe that to her.
100%. I feel that way too, Veer.
And I can tell that Baya doesn't because I can see him smiling.
What did I do?
No, he
I
does
can't
not.
do anything.
He does not.
actually
I know.
can't do
We
anything.
saw the eye roll underneath the eyeballs. The thing is that just because you don't roll your eyes openly doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we
We
are
can all
very
tell what's
perceptive.
happening here.
Through the screens, we are seeing, and I can even like estimate where his ideas are coming from, but I'm not going to say
But
anything.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why doesn't Dad take care? Why isn't Dadi living with us right now?
Oh,
Good-
this is
good
a
question.
good question.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead, ask. Shalab, you want to answer it?
Because she lives in India with
Yeah.
my dad, and then, there's not doesn't want to live in America, and I did not think of it that way, to be really honest. And my
Yeah.
brother and I did take care of her over the course of time. My parents, both of them, financially the best we could. And after retirement, they enjoy their life there. Her sisters are there. Her own immediate family is there, and America is a foreign country for her.
So do you think that if we all lived in India, not necessarily where she lives in India, but just lived in India, would we take care of them? Would they live with us in our house?
Yeah, I think yes, they would. Even if not all the time, they would visit a lot more. In fact, my mother, as you know, is coming next month to visit us in New York for a month. My dad cannot, but my mother is, and yes.
So where I'm going with this is, let's say I don't live in New York and you guys do. What if I live in, let's just say, California, as you guys live in New York? What is the expectation there then? Because I know Mom wants to take this to that we're expected to let them live with us, but I'm confused on the logistics of what that actually ensues. And does Didi have the most pressure of this happening because she's the oldest?
No.
It's a two-part question.
No. The most pressure should really go on you because you're the
my
oldest
God.
son.
I don't. Didi,
But
are
the
you okay with her
reality
saying
is
that?
it's going to end up being Didi because she intuitively is understanding it and you are not. And we've had
Well, I was the
many-
first one to understand that. I was the
No,
first
I know.
one to
I'm
say
talking
that.
about Bridge. No, I agree with you, Veer. You get it right away. But Bridge is heavily influenced by
Yeah.
American culture for all kinds of reasons, and questions the basics. First of all, let me answer part one of your question. Why isn't Dadi living with us, and what are our obligations towards her? She lives in India and wants to live in India. And India has an entire support structure. Entire support structure. There are a lot of people who choose to age in India because there's so much help and support available for a very reasonable or low price. But that is not the reality of life in America. In America, you are free floating. Like the entire journey of parenting, you are alone. Every year, when you guys become parents one day, you will understand the magnitude of determination and commitment and just human man hours involved in raising kids in this country where there's no support, no government support, no society support, no family support. And now an American mother will say, well, we should talk to the government about getting a mom tax credit and all that. That's never going to happen. You know that, right? I want you guys to all know, no matter what any politician says and what their platform, nothing is ever going to happen. Nobody gives a shit about mothers. Nobody's going to help mothers. The only person who could potentially make it right are the children who benefit from the sacrifice of their mother. That's how I see it. And that's why I'm so vocal about it. I tell everybody I know, I'm like, I can't understand moms in America who give their whole lives, but are not even allowed to expect the bare minimum back from their kids, because that's how this society is structured. And I don't agree with it at all. And I'm so grateful that you guys, like, I didn't even have to explain this to you guys. You guys helped me get a career, start a career, and to this day keep a career. Every day you make videos with me, you edit videos for me, you go out there, you rally support for me. And I'm so grateful that I have kids who completely understand that this is a cycle and you have to think above just your basic needs, that there are other people's needs involved.
Also, because immigrant kids or children of immigrants are given a lot of emotional responsibility at a young age. Some kids like literally fill out forms and stuff for their parents because there's like a language barrier. We didn't have that circumstance, but I do know kids that have had that for sure. They're often responsible over their finances at a pretty young age as well. They need to get jobs, they need to think about college completely on their own, like navigating these big American concepts. Like, I don't know, I never really realized it until I met kids who've had like generations of parents that have been to Harvard. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing here, and immigrant kids don't have that. I think one thing that kids don't fail to acknowledge is that pressure is the reason why immigrant kids succeed. Like, because you've taken that duty on at a young age, and you like have basically been thinking about other people since you were born, that pressure is the reason why immigrant kids excel in school. It's the reason why they do so well at their jobs, and it's the reason why they're like running the country now. And so I just think, I don't know, that's something that I think a lot. I think a lot of kids just call it like anxiety and like trauma. And I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not trying to say that I understand the full extent of the experience, but I do think it's the pressure that gets us where we go.
Bridge, what do you think? Because you're the one who has a strong opinion on this.
I mean, I think there's many obligations. For one, I think it's supporting.
And you don't have to say that if you don't believe it. Like, honestly, I want to have an open discussion about this, because you all have friends who have different opinions, and I want to know.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, Bridge, I think mom is the most concerned about you. Like, she's like expressed not
I think
like
this conversation. Sorry,
I don't even think it has to do with the concern. I mean, I think I'm the only one with the guts to challenge her. And when it comes to you and Veer, you guys will just like bend the knee, and every time she says anything, bow down and support an agreement with her. And I'm the only one who's willing to say, wait, maybe let's think about this for a second, think about the logistics of what's going on.
Zarna, don't you think this will
completely
change once
disagree
they
with
have
that. I think that's
spouses
fully
and
wrong.
kids of their own?
I think that this should inform who they partner up with, and how that person perceives their role in their family. I think this is a big thing in life. Like, I think they should not, for example, if they're dating somebody who's just not a family oriented person, then that should be a factor that they should understand, that that's a big departure from their life and how they are used to living.
Bridge, why were you smiling on this now?
Because me and mom have this conversation a lot behind the scenes. So it's like I'm hearing things for the second time now, and now I'm saying it publicly. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of logistics that come into play here, right? Obviously, I think we have obligations towards you guys. For example, one, I think that supporting you and your careers, if whenever either of you guys have asked me for anything to help you with your careers, I've done it. I think I've done it for a while. I've done a pretty good job at it as well. Then I think two, it comes to financially supporting you guys. If you ever needed it, which I'm not sure you ever will, because obviously both of you guys are superstars in your professional pursuits, but if you ever needed it, of course I, Didi, and Veer would all, help you guys out in whatever way. I know a lot of families create like plans and where maybe I send like $20 a month or however much. I don't know what the actual pricing looks like, but I know there's multiple different things to help financially help your parents, I think that's an obligation. And then 3, if they ever needed, like if you ever needed housing or something, or you had nowhere to go, or you were lonely, like we should definitely call, we should visit, we should take you in our homes if possible. I think those are 3 major obligations.
One thing I want to push you on, Bridge, maybe this is because I mean I definitely think I'm the poster child of this specific thing. Like I'm very much on the same page as like mom, I would say, in this regard. Like I feel a deep responsibility and duty toward both of them for how much sacrifice they've made, and I've like kind of made it my whole thing that's like something that drives me a lot. I feel like one framing I disagree with you is like if they need it. I think kids actually should proactively offer it. Like should proactively make it easy for their parents to understand what they can, what they can have from their kids. I think it shouldn't just be in emergency circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying emergencies. Why would they want it? Is what I'm saying. If like, why would they want to move in with us if they have their own house?
Symbolically, it's symbolically a thing. Like for example, like remember that guy, Mom, who we were at a comedy show and the comedian's son was like, I don't know, like 30 years old, and the father was like 60, and he had just gotten done performing, and the son basically like they were getting dinner afterwards, and the son picked up the bill. And like literally stole the bill and picked it up. And like the father was like, "Oh my god, like please don't do this." And the son was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like whatever. It was a very very endearing exchange. And I remember Mom being like that. That was a really sweet thing that we got to see. Like I'm glad that still exists in the world. And like I just feel like that is what I mean by all of this. Is that
But
like,
what kids aren't doing that? That's like a
No,
very
don't Bridge.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding?
Are you
kidding? Most kids are
What is
not.
going on?
Most what?
No, okay, fine. Yes, if kids don't do that, then yes, that is another obligation that comes from financial.
It's not an obligation. It's a way of believing life is. It's not even like anybody is dying over a dinner bill. But in America, I know any number of kids who literally see their parents as, oh, you guys are retired, you have to watch our kids. Oh, you guys have money, you have to pay for the vacation. Oh, you guys have money, you pay for the
worst
flights.
thing I've heard that any of my friends have said before is I got this one. It's my mom's money, not mine.
I get that a lot.
That's the worst
Yeah.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
It's
and you
ridiculous.
see it all the time. And I'm so grateful that you guys don't see it that way. Like,
I have
Bridge.
a friend who like doesn't really like love her mom, like the personality of her mom. Like she thinks she's a lot more ambitious than her mom. And she told me that like she just thinks her mom is going to be, her relationship will get much better when she has kids, so that her mom can take care of her kids, and then there will be like utilitarian value again. And
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that really freaked me out. Like basically like you have no relationship with your mom, or like your relationship with your mom is strained, so you're waiting to like give her purpose again, which is really just like a job that you're outsourcing to your parent. Like I do think that there are like daughters who think like that, like, oh, my mom will just raise my kids. Like
I mean, don't you, Zoya, have friends whose moms come and clean their dorm rooms for them and iron their
Yeah.
clothes? Like, Bridge, I don't think you understand how much parents can be taken advantage of and are routinely. I have friends my age whose parents are.
Why don't the parents say no?
Because they're too scared. They don't want to lose contact with their kids. They might not have the means to say no. They're too scared. Not every parent is. Some parents are like actually legitimately worried about getting older in America and not having money and having these kids who might cut them off completely. And it happens all the time. I know so many of people my age whose only relationship with their parents for 15-20 years was using them to babysit their kids. Literally, that was and I know parents today whose only relation, oh, you're going to visit your kid in college because the kid needs their laundry done. Or the kids called and said, Mom, can you come and do this for me? Mom, can you come do that for me? Like that. The fact that, Bridge, that's not even on your radar is actually comforting for me, because you at least don't think of your parents that way.
well, I mean,
Well, yeah,
Bridge
I
has
think one of the
never
biggest
thought of it.
disconnects here is that I just don't understand what the public does with their parents. I mean, a lot of this seems like very, very normal to me. I think you guys are a little bit in La La Land with like your ideas of how like this all is going to play out and how linear this situation is, when I think this is a very non-linear progression. In
What do
how
you
life
mean? I
works.
didn't follow.
Yeah, I don't
For
follow
example,
you.
like you guys are very narrow in the way where it's like, okay, you reach this age and then you're expected to take care of us for this long, and then this and then this. And I know you guys are trying to say it's not expectations, but it's more like you want to do it. But that's not how life plays out. Like, I might live in Europe next year. I might end up being in, like, there's so many different things that can happen that gets in the way and creates roadblocks. And I should always be trying to check in and trying to help as much as I can. But it is very, like, other families, I know people who love their parents so much, but are literally just not in the same country as them, who are literally just not, like, there's so many different things that can get in the way of that happening. And when you say stuff like, oh, because you started off this podcast saying, you are, like, I expect you guys to do this, I'm going to war with all parents who don't expect their children to do this, right? That's how you started this podcast. It's not like that. Like, there's so many things in life that can get in the way. And I think that one thing, which is why I brought up the bend the knee thing with Vera and Didi, is that I think that you saying that puts pressure on them to live their life in a very linear way, and where they have to do this, they have to create the household, they have to live in Didi herself says every episode that she wants to be your neighbor, right? It's like a lot of that comes from her loving you and wanting to be around you, but another part of that is you putting it in her from a young age that that's her expectation, and now she thinks that this is the way the life needs to play out. And my challenge to you, this is my only challenge, because I agree with everything else. I clearly don't understand how people treat their parents, and if I did, maybe we would have a much more agreement standpoint. But my one challenge to you is that you keep making it a very linear, this is the way life plays out, when that's just not the way life plays out.
No, but I understand what you're saying, and I'm gonna say something to you that even your dad and I have learned over the years, and maybe you guys will. Your dad and I came up in the generation that was like the new nuclear generation. Prior to our generation, people tried to stay together and close because they saw benefits in being close to their families. We were the generation that fought to have our own determination. We'll go wherever we want to go. We'll do whatever we chase that ambition, wherever it takes you. And I will tell you that after having lived that life, we are missing something in our life, for sure. Being close to family has its own merits, and that ambition that you are chasing at the cost of being close to your own immediate family, you're paying a big price, much bigger than you think you're paying, and you realize that down the road.
Do you feel that way, Dad?
I don't know.
I don't think he feels that way.
I mean, I don't feel that way. That is true.
I said I don't know.
Yeah.
Dad is so sweet. Okay,
But
so
that's
Mom,
okay.
you feel that way.
I feel that way because I am more concerned about, your dad, for actually the entire time we've been together, is concerned with his career and his ambition, and which is what brought us to New York. He doesn't worry about what it's like raising kids that don't have grandparents around. But that's a guilt that eats at me. That's something that I live with every day, that I wish at least I had one parent around of my own, and that we had more
I had no
involvement.
idea that was something that weighed on you.
I mean, but there's
Wait. You wish that you had a parent around, or you wish that we had one of your
no,
parents around?
one of my parents around for you guys, not
But
for
you
me.
had such a strained relationship with your parents.
I know. That's why it's such a hopeless desire on my side. That's why I never talk about it, because there was no hope of it ever happening, right? I do think if we live closer to my sister, you guys would have a much closer relationship with your cousins who are exceptionally good kids. If I live closer to my brother, living far away from my brother is one of the biggest pains of my life.
I know.
And all three of their kids are really good kids. So when I reflect at what price did I pay to live the life that I'm living, like, I've paid huge prices and I feel the pain of it. Your dad doesn't necessarily feel it, but I do. And I'm telling you guys that you guys should be mindful of it. This is not to say you shouldn't live the life that you want. You should do what you want, go live where you want to live. And luckily, we do live in an age of technology where actually you can be connected no matter where you live. We didn't even have that. Like 10 years ago, there was no Zoom, there was no WhatsApp, but it was barely a thing.
One thing that I think, for example, I think the truth of this is that, Bridge, you're completely right, honestly. You made a really good point. Basically, I think your point to me summarizes that, we all have our own individual lives to live, and, who knows where life is going to take us. But I think what Mom's point is that, making family and making your responsibility towards the people in your families, the number one priority and thinking through these big decisions is important. So, for example, I have a friend who is a child of Iranian immigrants, like an amazing girl, and she got a very, very big job offer in New York City. She's from the Bay Area. She also got a very, very big job offer in the Bay Area. And honestly, like, you could say the New York City offer was a little bit better, just like from on paper. But she took the Bay Area one, and she did that because she wanted to be close to her family. Now, I think that's the kind of sacrifice that, like, an immigrant kid won't even think twice about, because it's like, it just makes sense. Whereas I do think there's this concept in, like, American upbringings where it's like, it's me and it's only me, and what I want is above everything else. And I think that is what needs to change, that mindset.
And I will say, remove the emotions out of it for a minute. Remove what's right for the mother and what's right for anybody. I will say, as an entrepreneur and as somebody who considers what goes into building a successful career or business, you are better positioned being close to your family for your business and for your career than not. Forget the emotional aspects of it. Just the fact that you have a family member close by who can have your back through the ups and downs of your business, certainly in an entrepreneurial endeavor, do not underestimate it. You might think, oh, the better option is to live in, for example, Spain, this really cool opportunity. But when you're sitting alone in Spain and having to deal with everything in life and reinventing the wheel from ground zero, the way your dad and I had to in New York City, the amount of mistakes we've made, the amount of catastrophic mistakes, $1 million+ mistakes we've made, that we genuinely can be, we understand now why wealth is a generational transfer. We understand now why the second and third generation, if it's a good crop of kids, will be wildly successful, because the first generation that laid the stakes in, and they understand the ground game so well that they clear all the weeds so the next generation can propel.
Wow.
And this is like, you take all the emotions out of it. If you said to me, Mom, I'm like, for the excitement of it, I want to do it in Europe or South America or India or whatever, you do it. But know that you are taking on all the disadvantages that your dad and I actually spent 25 years learning how to navigate. That's just a business thing.
I think also, like, the truth is that, like, even if, like, for example, Mom had to be in Canada for a month and a half for a movie. I had to be at Stanford, which is in California, for 4 years, which is far away. Like, Bridges on the East Coast. Like, I was far away for now 4 years, right? But it's like if you prioritize the right things and you care about putting, like, your relationships with your family, like, really high up on your list, like, you make it work, right? Like, instead of going on all the flashy spring break trips, like, I came home. I spent most of my time at home. It's not true that I didn't ever indulge, right? Like, I just went to Rome, which was a really cool experience. But, you know, like, most breaks I'm home. Most breaks I try and make sure that I'm with the boys. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just think it's a mindset thing.
Do you see what we're saying, Bridge and Veer, or you guys don't see it?
I mean, obviously we see it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not obvious. I'm open to the idea that you're like, Mom, you're overthinking all of this. Like, it's not obvious to me.
I feel like Dad's been really quiet this episode.
Oh, only because I'm trying to listen to what your mother is saying. I'm not disagreeing with.
But
any
what do
of it.
you think?
I mean, I don't think that way. I think that the more American way, that every adult is responsible for themselves, and you know, my responsibilities for a child exist when they're adults, and the only responsibility I'm left with is towards.
Do
my
you think
spouse
that we
and-
have an obligation to take care of you when you get older?
No,
He doesn't believe that.
I don't
Yeah.
think that. Yeah. I think
Do you
that
feel
your
that you have
But I do think
responsibilities?
that your responsibility is to take care of yourself, though. Like, I also believe that it's not my responsibility to take care of you.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
Post 18 years old, you
Post
think at that
21
point-
is what I think, because college is
Post 21.
college.
Okay, yeah. So post 21, it's like, then at that point, if we want to talk to each other, it's more just like because we like each other. It has nothing to do with. Like,
No. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, we should have like an emotional, intimate relationship that should continue. But I'm saying that financially, which is a big part of it all, the relationship should be you taking care of you and me taking care of me.
And that's honestly what it comes down to me. The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of this conversation we're having really, really is so intertwined with money. And we can
Yeah.
act like it's an emotion thing, or we can act
No,
like
it
it's a
is.
lot of other things. But the fact is, it is really intertwined with money. Because one, we need to have the money to live financially independent from you guys. We need to have the money to live with our own families, raise our own children. We need to have the money to be able to travel and see you, or maybe live nearby you guys. And you guys obviously live in a very nice neighborhood in a very nice building, so that's also an expense. Then we would need to have the money to be able to take care of you guys. Then we would need to have the money to maybe let you guys live with us. Like we need to have the money to pay the bills at dinner with you guys sometimes, right? A 5-person dinner is a lot of money every single time. So money is money, and money is this entire conversation. Not this entire conversation, but it is a large part of this conversation. And I think that Dad is right to bring that up, because I think that is something we kind of skipped over throughout this whole podcast, which I feel like we shouldn't have, because that really, really is like the crux of how this all plays out. And you're saying by being close to family is how we get the money to be able to hit those marks, which I understand.
That we build together. That, like, do you feel like the whole reason I never considered taking what is it called, a W-2 job, a corporate job, and your dad knows this, and I was adamant, even through all my entrepreneurial failures, I was absolutely adamant that I will not take a job no matter what the pay. Because why? Aside from the taxes, which is obvious, but that's not why. Because sometimes you can make so much that even after paying taxes, you make enough. I mean, that's why corporate America exists. But the reason I never took a job is because I wanted to build something that gave you guys the option to build upon the block that I built. It's very important to me, because without money, we have nothing in this country. We don't, you don't. And do you guys feel that I'm completely devoted to that cause? Do you ever second guess that your mother is out there crusading, trying to build a family brand so we can build together? And yes, it comes down to money, but I'm trying to be practical about it, and your dad and I are trying to be practical about it and build that first layer so that you can then add bricks on it and build your own thing.
But yeah, what do you think, Veer?
I mean, when your friends say it's my mom's money, how do you feel, and do you agree with them?
No, I will scold them, like publicly humiliate them if they're saying that, because that well, not to that extent, but I think it's ridiculous, and I point it out every time they say that, because
that's a crazy statement.
I think it's insane that they're so like.
Can you repeat the statement, because many people missed it, including me?
Say I'm at out lunch, which is just school lunch at school off premises, where I'm saying oh, I forgot my wallet, can you pay for me this one time and I'll pay you back. They're like, no, you don't have to pay me back, I don't care, it's my mom's money, not mine. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous to say, because like, how are you so disconnected with your family to the point where you have two separate like things of money,
and you're disrespecting her.
Yeah. You're disrespecting. You don't care that it's her money. You'll spend her money because it's hers and not yours.
She has earned it, right? She's not stolen it. It's hard-earned money. You should respect it.
But I think that I feel that I have an obligation to both spend time with you guys and financially support you guys, or emotionally support you guys in whatever endeavors you have when you're older. And I think that spending time is a big one even now, because I feel like if I'm not spending time with you, I will feel guilty, and I'll feel like I'm throwing away valuable time that I could be spending time with you guys with.
Why did you laugh, Bridge? Why is that making you laugh?
I only laugh because when Veer said emotional support, it made me think of how much I've had to emotionally support Didi recently. I started laughing because it is actually getting absurd.
If you knew how much Veer does, if you knew how much Veer does in comparison to literally the drop in the bucket I've given you, Veer has done for every 5 minutes. For every 5 minutes you've done, Veer has done literally 60 minutes.
No, because you guys don't understand.
We were on the phone twice. Veer has gone on a phone call from me at least once a week for this entire year. Like, you have nothing.
I don't think people understand. Like, sometimes I'll be on the phone with her, and I'll be, like, ready to hang up, and, like, it'll be silent, and I'm like, all right, and then she'll just go straight into the next thing. So, anyways, I was like, I'm, like, banging at this. It's, like, 30 minutes into the conversation, and I'm, like, ready to go, and she will not let the phone call end. This is such a sidetrack. I'm so sorry. But
no. Sometimes when I'm calling her, I'll say, all right, I think I'm gonna go, and she'll be like, why? The phone call is, like, fully silent.
Okay, anyway. Mother's Day is coming up. What's a fun thing you look forward to doing with your mom?
Writing a card.
No, I was just going to say, do not say that. I'm so tired of that. We have said that so many times. Writing a card is not enough anymore. It's not cutting it in 2025. Do something else.
You would understand if your cards were my level. You would
Yeah,
understand.
viewers-
It is
viewers-
Oh,
so
whoa.
unoriginal at this point. We've
Shots
been doing
been
it for, like,
fired.
20 years ever since Veer was
Bridge,
born. It's been forever.
Veer's cards are actually like legendary though.
Yeah.
You don't seem to understand. I don't
We
think
write
Okay,
a card
but-
for Mother's Day. We write a card for Father's Day. We write a card for birthdays. We write a card for Halloween. Like,
This
when
is
are we
true,
not
Bridge.
writing
I
cards?
do. Okay, Bridge.
You probably don't value them as much as like we do.
Oh, bro,
Oh.
you're trying to soundbite so hard right now. The fact is,
So
is,
what
like,
do you
we-
suggest, Bridge?
But what do you
For
suggest?
Mother's Day, let's exclude the cards. Save the cards for the birthdays. Let's make them special again, and let's not make them every single possible date. And Dad, you don't even write cards anymore, so I don't even or ever.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't have an opinion on that. You should start writing cards. Honestly, maybe you should start doing it. But other people, let's do something else. Everyone else, maybe the three of us together, separately, whatever. Try to come up with an original thing to do with Mom separately, and it can literally just be like scratching her back or rubbing her hand for 30 minutes. Something that's like time consuming, so it shows. One of my friends was very rude to me and he said sorry. So I said, instead of saying sorry to me, I want you to go on a walk without your phone or your AirPods for the next 40 minutes. Because then that shows that you actually are apologetic for what you did. Because if you're saying sorry, anyone can do that.
So
I
40
can say
minutes
sorry
without a
100
phone
times.
is very so
It's-
hard that it's apologetic.
Exactly, because if they're doing that, then they're actually apologetic. Then they're actually saying,
Wow.
I'm
You
sorry.
actually
Like,
said that? Bridge?
yes,
Did
because
they
Did he
do
do
it?
it?
Bridge, did he do it?
they did it
No.
for like half the time, like 20 minutes. But even then,
Okay,
that's fine.
I mean, that's
But
impressive.
when
I
you
couldn't do
say-
it.
When you,
No,
I couldn't do it.
Sorry.
I need my music when I'm walking. I'm sorry. I just need it.
but I'm just saying it shows like actual. Okay, you are willing to spend because time is more valuable than money by 10
Yeah.
million %. This is my message to the public now. Everyone think of one thing you can do for 30 minutes to an hour that just you just don't want to do at all, but you know they want to do. And then do that with them. That is the perfect gift. That's exactly what I plan on doing with Mom too.
You know what we should do? We should take Mom to that Indian vegetarian place that she loves that everybody else doesn't like, except for,
The
Well,
You
Gujarati
did not have to
place,
say
yeah.
it like that.
Wait, I
You could've
actually
just
really
said,
like that place.
Bridge.
I actually
What?
do. I've been there. I like that place.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bridge.
It's not
Yes.
fair. It's not fair.
Yeah. No, he loves it. He loves it. We have gone there and had a great meal there. Anyway, this has been our episode on Mother's Day. What are your obligations towards moms? What is mom's obligation towards the kids? And what is dad's role in all of it? We hope you've enjoyed this as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Garg, where each Garg gives the other Garg an A grade based on who brought the winning moment of the podcast. Who wants to go first in good grades with Gargs?
I want to give my A grade to Bridge. I mean, first of all, I thought that walk idea instead of saying sorry. You know what? I'm just gonna give it to him for that because that was crazy. I didn't know that you did that, and I kind of want to use that now.
I want to give my A grade to Veer. I thought that it's very courageous of him to speak up to his friends who may not understand many of these things because he's way more mature for his age than any other kid I know.
I will give my A grade to Mom because I do believe that we didn't really get that deep into it on this angle of like relationships and how much they matter towards making these expectations come to fruition. But I do think that your point about how like you want to be with someone who's also family oriented, who loves their family, just so you could build together. It is very difficult to stay attached to your family if the person you're with doesn't understand the value of that. If they don't understand why, or maybe they don't even understand why you are friends with them. A lot of people aren't even friends or best friends with their family. And I'm speaking to people who are, but I guess I should make this more general. If you are someone who doesn't understand that, I would challenge you to maybe think about it. And if you are someone who has that, I would hope that you stick with people who are like that or are adaptable to that type of point. Because it is really strong and it is really important for that to be part of your system.
Okay, I'll give my A grade to Didi. This is the second episode in a row because
2 A grades. I never get the A grade.
I feel like she's the only one who really reaches out and like she's just I feel like she very much her and Mom do a very good job of like keeping the family together.
Okay. And I will give my A grade to Bridge because I feel like we were able to change his mind a little bit during this episode, and that's always a good thing. I think that he saw things that he was not seeing in his own thinking that he is now seeing because He was not understanding that we are
I think
all
you're just making all this up just to
No,
inflict these ideas.
no.
He was not
Did
seeing
you,
things
Bridge,
that he was thinking in
Shalab, did you not
conversation.
see
That's
the
a
whole
crazy
arc?
joke.
Bridge entered this episode saying, "Why do I have to do any of it?" And he ended
I
it
didn't say that.
with "I understand,
He
and not
never
only should I
said
be
that.
doing it, I should also be dating somebody who believes and agrees with this."
Oh,
Like, we made a
wow.
full circle hero's journey during this podcast episode. It's a first of its kind that we've seen on our episodes, and I'm gonna split the A grade between Bridge and Shalab because your dad really does not have these expectations. So, and that's a genuine truth. He's not just saying. Some people say they don't have expectations and don't mean it. He's always been steadfastly believing, wrongly, I don't agree with it, but he's always steadfastly believed that and believes in letting you guys do your own thing and find your own way in life and all the things that I disagree with entirely. But his belief is very pure and honest, and for that he deserves some flowers. But seeing Bridges' transformation during this episode might make the whole family podcast worth everything. And I want to hear, first of all, audience, if you're listening and watching, did you see the transformation? Did you see it with your own eyes, how we started and how we ended? And I can't wait to hear what you guys think. What are you guys doing for Mother's Day? Please like, share, and subscribe this episode. Let's bring more people into this universe. And we can't wait to see you guys next time. Everybody say bye.
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 Bye.